So hello everyone, welcome to ROCFT Institute, and this is in front of me Pathib sitting right over here. We are doing a video conference call because you all know it's COVID going on and there are a lot of problems outside. If you bring someone in the studio, it's going to be a real big hectic problem dealing with the issues of COVID-19. So this is the podcast. I have told every one of you what this podcast is going to be about. So yeah, we are going to discuss some things about the problems related to Indian education system and what we should actually do to bring out some really valuable things out of this education system without giving it a big deal of change, but actually keeping it the same as it is, but bringing out something very important so that it would be helpful for those who are in class 10, class 11, 12, or even at college. People who are really aspiring to do something in their life. They think they actually have dreams they need to accomplish. So this discussion is all about that, and why this Parthib is sitting in front of me is very simple. He is one of my juniors. Let me introduce to you Parthib Chatterjee. He has been one of my juniors. When I was in class 10, he was just a year less than me in class 9. And yeah, we are very good friends. We both of us, we are very well known in St. Xavier School, Purulia, for our debate ethics. And yeah, so I thought who could do this whole video much better than him. So yeah, I brought him here, and we are going to discuss about it. So Parthiv, what do you think? How do you feel about this?
First of all, thank you very much for bringing me in. I've never done this before, and thanks a lot to you for giving me this opportunity to represent myself in your YouTube channel through this podcast. So, thank you very much, first of all. And our topic is about the education system, and I think in today's life, in this day to day, in this pandemic situation, education system has changed a lot,
Yes, yes.
because now schools are completely off, tuitions are off, all we are independent means all we are dependent is upon the online education system.
Yeah, yeah.
Only online, no live classes, no more those classes that we used to
Offline
take in
classes,
schools.
offline classes and coaching
Offline
classes.
classes means the major thing means a sudden change has occurred
Hmm.
from live classes, from sitting in those benches and working hard,
Hmm.
through sitting on the bed and doing live sessions, which
Yes.
we actually don't know how effective it's going to be,
Yes.
whether the teachers are doing correct, they're giving the efforts, or the students, we don't know. Means how much it has changed, because we are if we see, if when we are at school, the teacher is in front of us.
Yes.
Now we can see the teacher is working hard, the
Yes.
student can see what is about to happen in the school, what is going on. School life is missing nowadays.
Yes, definitely. And what the main problem is that because that school think that offline classes are missing, as students of class 10, 9, or any class, take it at any class, they are facing a huge problem in focusing on their
Definitely,
subjects.
definitely.
Because when a student will get a mobile phone, you all know, means we all know about this fact that definitely, even if we get mobile phone for 1 hour, 40 to 45 minutes of that time will be spent in YouTube searching through the net or going and searching other terms, and then little bit of rest of the time that will be spent in the live classes or any kind of online class. Now that is not anything that would be productive for a student, and that is causing a big trouble nowadays, especially COVID, while this COVID is going on. But as we all know that COVID is going to end someday, but what about this whole long term when the COVID existed and the problems that it did to the education system? That I'm not saying that the education system got problems now. Before, it didn't have problem. It had problems, it will have the problem. And it had a lot of big problems, like, what I was talking about, that education system was not really focusing into the things that it should. It was actually focusing and still focuses on rote reading things. We all know it, so those big history and geography books and teaching us those big history lessons, we can find all of that on Google. Yeah, we don't need to go and read all of those history, all memorize everything of the history, the dates, the names. Okay, you tell me, you when you go for a job interview, which job interviewer will ask you that what was the name of the father of Akbar? You know it?
Yes, see, what I see means what we are taught in our school, hardly 10% of that also comes in the interviews.
Yes,
Means what you said of the problems of this education system, from the starting it had problem, now it is having problem, it is facing problem, in future also it will have problem, several
definitely.
problems.
Yeah.
And this education system is completely not perfect. According to me, it's not at all perfect. Lots of problems are there, lots of difficulties are arising, and due to this pandemic, this situation, these problems has enhanced, the
Yes, definitely.
difficulties of students has increased.
Hmm.
So the productiveness of studying knowledge, acquiring knowledge from this education system has decreased a lot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And my question to you is that what do you think? I mean, this whole COVID-19 is going on, and this whole crisis is going on, and in this whole crisis thing, what do you think would be the most beneficial thing for students to do right now? Just leave aside the marks and the exams. Just tell me one basic thing that would be really beneficial for students for acquiring knowledge, specifically for acquiring knowledge, not bookish knowledge but real knowledge.
See, what I think, according to me, the most problems
Hmm.
the students of class 10 and 12 are facing because they are having boards.
Yes.
And now they themselves think that now they are completely dependent upon their tuition teachers
Hmm.
or the school teachers, which will provide them online classes.
Yes.
Apart from that, maybe or may not be, the students are surfing the Google and doing their self study. Self study is most important. Schools and tuitions provide 10% of the education, the knowledge. Rest is the self study. And now the thing is, this generation are so much involved in social media, mobile, internet. Means once you open the phone for studying, distraction may occur. You might be watching YouTube videos on any topic, science, physics, chemistry, biology. You are trying to acquire knowledge. Suddenly, a message pops out.
Yeah, there are
You
those
get
suggested,
distracted.
there are the other suggested videos.
You suggested may come that the PUBG,
Ha.
Sushant Singh case,
Ha.
several comes out. This creates a distraction. I'm
Hmm.
not telling that this is the problem of the social media. This is the distraction. We cannot
Avoid.
overcome it.
Yes.
Yes, we cannot avoid it. We cannot overcome it.
Hmm.
It's the student's responsibility to completely focus on your study. No, I'm studying now. I will study. After that, I will see the suggested videos. I will reply to the old messages.
Hmm.
It completely depends upon the students, and it also uh, the responsibility of the tuition teachers and the school teachers to provide a little of their effort to the students, because
Yes.
they are bondage.
Yeah, yeah.
They are at home, they don't know what to do, because see, because of this pandemic, the education system has changed, the format of education has changed, the exam pattern has changed a lot.
Yes.
So all students are not aware of what has changed, what they should do now.
Hmm.
The schools, tuitions, and whole education system should take necessary steps to make the students aware what to do, how to do, when to do. Because we are not so much literate and so much we don't have all those knowledge to how to acquire it.
Yes.
We are not so independent to go and search for what has changed. This is the responsibility of the teachers of the whole education system, as well as students, to focus on the studies, to come to know what's changing.
Yes, and this is what I
We
was
cannot
talking about,
see
Parthib.
most of the
Parthib,
time.
Parthib, this is what I was talking about is that uh, I, as a tuition teacher, I have a lot of students right now due to because of COVID-19. Many students left the tuitions. They said that after COVID-19 they will again join the tuitions. Many are there. They're still doing the online
This is
classes.
problem.
Many are there. They're still doing the online classes. But the main problem what I find while doing these online classes, that parents are actually doubting their children. They think that own children won't study online classes, won't do these things. And you know what this creates? This creates a very bad psychological environment for the student, because the student thinks that if my parents, if they won't have faith in me, why would I do something good? Why would I go and study and pay my attention and focus and put so much of pressure on myself if my parents, them, they also think that I am not interested in studies? They think that if I am not into the studies, I will not study, then why should I go and study? Because ultimately, even if I do the good thing, my parents are always pressuring me or telling me or always introducing me the bad side of mine. So why should I do that? This is a very bad situation. When this happens, you know what happens? A student starts doubting himself or herself. So what do you think about this kind of situation? Has this ever happened to you?
See, this is the problem of every individual, every student. This family problem, this school problems, everything. First thing, the parents don't know what the school is doing, and the school don't know what the parents are doing. What the student is going through, all those pressures, we don't know. Might be that I'm studying the whole day, I'm studying 3 to 4 hours, I'm putting my 3 to 4 hours in complete study. My parents are not here. I'm studying alone, nobody is here. Suddenly I completed my studies, I completed it wholeheartedly, completed its studies. Now I closed the book, now I took my phone, and then my parents arrive and they see I'm using my mobile. What they will think? They will think he's definitely going on his mobile,
Yes,
he's playing,
he's
he's
playing
doing all
games or watching
stuff,
other kind of stuff. Yes.
everything without studying. And they will question us, why are you not studying? And if you will explain that no, I have studied, then they will say, I have not seen. Here the morale gets down. Means you have put all your efforts in those 3 to 4 hours, then somebody will come and say you have not worked hard.
And that
What
somebody
will
is no
praise your
one,
hard work?
and that somebody is no one else but your own parents.
Yes, how you will feel,
Yes.
how demotivating it is that I have worked so hard, I'm not getting praised because they have not seen me study.
Hmm.
Means they want us to show the study, that how we study, to show the knowledge. That
Yes.
is what's the problem is. The marks shows the study, the talent, everything. The marks, the efforts. Nobody has seen the efforts, the struggle, the pain, the difficulties a student has faced to bring those 95% or 80%.
Yes. I was saying,
What we
if
are judged on is the marks.
if students were given marks based upon their hard work, I guess the ones who are the failures or who get very low marks, they would be the ones who would be the toppers. You know?
Maybe, definitely. Maybe they have worked out. Maybe their brain is not so sharp. Maybe their intelligence is not so sharp. But their hard work, they have given 100%.
Yes.
Maybe. But we are not judging them according to their hard work, their effort. What we are judging is those numbers on a paper.
Yes, and those numbers, those sheet of paper, we think they will give us a big 1 lakh, 2 lakh per month salary. You know, everyone thinks like that.
Yes.
A person who goes to a college, but let me first introduce the audience that Parthib is right now in class 11. He is still doing his studies, not like me, a dropout. So don't think he is also a dropout like me.
I'm 12. I'm 12.
Ah, sorry, he's in 12. So I did dropped out, and many of you know the reason why I did. But Parthib is still continuing with his studies, is still in the education system. Even I am, but kind of I'm in a different way. But Parthib is still in the same way as a student, so he has a better perspective of a student because currently he is actually a student. He's facing the COVID-19 problems. He is facing all of the online classes problems, and he knows actually what is the basic thing what students should do right now to
I can
actually.
see now what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
What's everything is going on. I can see.
Yes. So he has a student perspective, whereas I have a teacher's perspective, so that
Okay,
matters a
I'm like,
lot. Yes.
yes, yes. Now, every time you will see the parents generally uh, points out the difficulties and the mistakes of the teachers, but I will not say that the teachers are always wrong. I don't think so, because maybe there is a teacher behind the camera working hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe he's trying
No,
to
Parthiv,
give his
Parthiv, Parthiv,
100% effort.
Parthiv, I definitely 101% say that teachers are not wrong at all. The thing that is wrong is the Indian education system. The system itself is corrupted. Because pay attention now. The teachers were also once students, and when they were students, they believed that marks are everything. Based upon that, they got their degree. Based upon that, they got admission in Indian schools. A report of Forbes, it says that more than 80% teachers, they don't have the mathematical thinking skills, the mathematical thinking skills that are very basic for a teacher to understand and to know, to be a teacher, so that the teacher can actually get inside the mind of a student and actually put himself or herself in the perspective of the student and actually understand what the student is going through. Now that teacher will understand a student better, but we all know that this doesn't happen in India. In India, being a teacher means you get a degree, you have a good degree, you have a good marks, and then you show to the principal of the school and you become a teacher. Now that is not the fault of the teacher. The fault is whole of the Indian education system. You get it? So I am totally against it. If anyone says the fault is of the teacher, I will say no, it's not.
No, it's definitely not. Maybe one teacher is working hard, he's putting all his effort, he's putting all his hours on one live class,
Yes.
in one live class. And the main problem of this live class, I'm telling you, you cannot see the teacher what he is doing except he himself on the screen
Yes.
and the student himself on the screen, which might put off the mic on. Means most of the students in schools, what they do in live classes, I have seen, I have experienced, they turn their mic off, they turn their video off. Now you don't know whether they are there or not.
Now this is a
Whether
big
they are,
problem. This is a big problem. Even
yes,
my
whether,
students who they attend live classes, they say that they will just go and mute the video, mute their microphone, and then they will go somewhere. And the teachers think that that student is attending the live class, and the teacher will give marks according to that. That he has given the proper attendance. That student is giving the proper attendance. But the teacher actually does not know what is going behind the camera.
actually this is the main problem that the teachers are facing, that they cannot verify whether the student is present or not, whether the student is paying attention or not, whether the student is putting his effort or not. Just like the teachers, there are many teachers, most of the teachers are putting all their efforts to present one class, and what we are doing, we are just avoiding them. We are giving them excuses. Sir, my network is there is a network problem. Sir, your video is not clear. Sir, your audio is not clear. We must try it on different day. We are just avoiding. There are many students, and there are many students who are trying. No, sir, the video quality is good. We are doing good. It completely depends upon that one individual, whether the teacher, whether the student is giving their full heartful effort or not.
Yes. So after this we came to know that there are big problems. One of the big problem is that focus. A student is unable to focus. Second big problem is the interest of the student. How to bring that interest when you have such education system. Okay, if we even forget that COVID-19 is going on, because we know that by 2021 COVID-19 will eradicate, somehow it will. We know that we have a kind of an idea that this COVID-19 will go someday. But what after that? The same offline classes will go on, the same schools, the coaching classes will go on, the same thing will happen, students will run after marks and all. So how to bring the interest in students in actual knowledge? Actual knowledge is like learning. So like I, from class 1, from nursery to class 11, whatever I learned was based upon on a sheet of paper. I got the marks on the report card. But when I dropped out of class 11 and I did some online courses, I found out that one online courses was much better than those 10 or 12 years of education in school. So this is the condition of India, and that online class of was Cambridge University. So I just compared the type of two types of education system. It was far different. You know, when you be on that online class, you actually emerge into the topic. You actually go deep into the topic, and you feel like the teacher is with you. So the second problem that we are facing is, first one was focus, second one was interest. How to bring that interest? To bring that interest, definitely we have to do some changes in the education. We have to do some changes in the study routines and what to study and what not to study, or how to study. And the third big problem was how to deal with teachers who themselves don't have proper knowledge about the subjects. How to deal with those kind of teachers, or how to deal with teachers who are actually knowledgeable, who have a really good IQ, but are unable to express the topic to the students. So these are the three problems. So let's first focus on how to bring that focus in students. So what do you think? How means when you
First,
study?
first things focus will come.
Yes.
Student will focus when either they're on pressure
Hmm.
or they have the interest.
Hmm.
Means one, you will see the exams are coming now. Everyone is focusing on their studies
Yes.
because they are in pressurized now that I have to pass, I have to bring marks. Secondly, the interest, and when interest will grow, when the education system will look on the quantity
Yes.
and quality as well,
Hmm.
because teachers are focusing on the quantity. Means when there was offline class, when we used to go school, most of the teacher used to say I have to complete the syllabus.
Yes. Yes.
I don't care how much you have learned. I have to complete my syllabus.
Hmm.
Means you will ask a question, ma'am, I have a doubt. No, let me complete the syllabus first,
Because they
then we
have
will
a,
have trouble.
because they have a pressure from the school itself, that if you do not
We have a
complete the
pressure from the school.
if you do not complete the
Because
syllabus, you will get a cut in salary. Yes, that is a problem.
exams are coming, so you have to complete it.
Yes.
They are getting pressure. The teachers are getting pressure from the higher authorities, and the teachers are putting their whole pressure on the students.
Yes.
Now, if you are the teacher,
Hmm.
I am asking a question,
Hmm.
and you put me off. No, let me complete the syllabus. I had the interest of asking. I had the interest of knowing the answer of my question, my query. But what you do, you stop it.
So
But here,
now
I
what
get
I did was,
demotivated.
in this thing, what I did was I actually ended up your interest in the topic, and that
Yes, that
resulted
was
that
insane.
that resulted in that you will not pay any more interest in that topic again, because you were now demotivated by me, and you were put down by me. So now whenever that topic will come again, you will think, I was put down, I was let down by that teacher, why to go to that topic? You see the problem. This whole problem is a circle. It's going around again and again and again. You solve one problem, then other one arise. You see it. This is what is the problem going on. It's a big problem.
All are interrelated. All are interrelated, and the students as well as the teachers both are the victim of this education system.
Yes.
Both. Means I have given you a target. This is the syllabus. You have to complete it within 3 months. The teacher comes just to complete the syllabus, not to spread knowledge, not to provide knowledge. They come only to complete the syllabus. And those students who seek for knowledge doesn't get a single amount of that.
Hmm.
They had to come, sit on the table, warm those benches, write all those notes, just complete the syllabus. Nobody cares about the knowledge. They only care about the numbers of chapter the teacher has finished, the school has finished, and how fast they have finished. That's the thing, that's the matter.
Yes.
That's what matters, and that what will matter in future as well if the education system doesn't change.
Yes. So when we were discussing about the focus problem, so you said two things, two major things, and that was one, that a student will pay attention into the subject for either one, that is pressure. So when exams come, the student is pressurized, so they will pay attention to the subject through what they are studying. So somehow a little bit of pressure is required for a student. If there is no pressure, a student will not study at all. So little bit pressure is required. But the second thing that comes down is the interest. Now we all know that there is a big problem with this interest thing, because students now, see, if you go to class 11 as a teacher and you ask the students, you have been into the situation. So if you ask the science student why you have taken up science, a student will reply, I've taken science because I need to get a good job, or I need to earn money, or my parents told me to take the science. So my parents told me, or someone will come up and say,
This is the problem.
someone will come up and say, I just like science. Why you like science? He doesn't know. He will just say, I like science. So all of these are excuses. Nobody has a proper reason.
Why he or she likes science? Let me tell you
Huh.
why he likes science. Because I'm getting numbers, I'm getting marks,
Yes.
I'm getting 91. I have gained no knowledge.
Hmm.
I have studied, I have swallowed, and I have tuned in the exam. I've got marks. Now I'm getting interest. I
Hmm.
like science.
And
We
you know,
don't know the how much knowledge we have acquired.
and you know, there is a myth in the society. This myth is, you also know about this myth, I also know, even the audience knows about this myth, that a science student will get a better job than an art student.
Definitely, this is the main problem. Science means high salary, high reputation, high respect in the society. We are creating these problems.
Yeah.
Now we cannot blame the teachers or the students. This is all about this whole education system.
The
They have
society
created
also.
this myth.
Yes.
They have created this myth.
Yes.
And we have told that no, science is better than commerce, than humanities.
Hmm.
And the job division is also like that.
Hmm.
Science students are getting more priorities than humanities or commerce. We are creating this discrimination, this racism, this division.
But in the end, we all know ultimately that this is not true, isn't it? Because we know that the engineers, the amount of engineers that are created in India, just pay attention, the amount of engineers that are created in India are more than the amount of people living in Switzerland. You see, but 87% of the engineers created in India are still unemployed, jobless. You see the fact? These facts are all going around. The biggest successful people in the world, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. See, so these, Steve Jobs was a failure. He, not a failure, but a dropout. He dropped out of school. The Jeff Bezos was also a dropped out, and they both were interested in what they were doing. They didn't go up to some company or show their mark sheet that this is what I have done, so please give me this job or let me do this business. They didn't say that thing. They did what they wanted to do. Now, this is a skill set that we all lack nowadays. Until and unless we do something different from anyone, we lack this skill set. So, how to get this skill set? What are you going to say about it? I'm also going to explain about this one, because even I got some very good skill sets. So, what do you think? How to gain and emphasize on this skill set? What steps school must take to emphasize or bring this skill set for students?
According to me, all students are different. Their
Definitely.
likings, their interest, and I think that the main problem is with the education system as well as a little bit with the parents, because the main problem is the comparison that his son has taken science, you should also take. Here, my interest is in commerce. I want to be a financial stockbroker. I want to be an economics. But what I am told that no, he is doing IIT. You should also try. Here, my
Comparing,
interest is
comparing,
getting
comparing children.
comparison. Here, my interest is getting down.
Hmm.
I want to. I'm good in arts. I'm good in geography. I'm good in history. I want to be an archaeologist. No, there is no job in archaeology. There is no money in archaeology. You must take science.
Yes,
In
parents
science, there is
parents will
money. There
definitely
is
say this.
reputation.
Parents will definitely say this. What will you do? How will you earn? How will you get settled?
How
This
will you earn?
word,
What?
this word, settled word.
Where do you see yourself after 10 years? If you take humanities,
Yes.
if you take arts, there is no future. They don't know because they are these things are taught by the education system. This is the main problem.
And
They are not
what our parents had learned many years ago, the system has totally changed. The generation has totally changed. There has been a big change in the generation. If you take over the past 5 years, there has been a big change in technology in generation. 5 years ago, there was no such thing as cloud computing or artificial intelligence. Nothing much emphasis was kept on that. But
cloud
right now,
computing. Yes,
we all have these things, and there are jobs. If you know about artificial intelligence, you know about cloud computing, there are various jobs based on that, and the jobs will pay you more than 2 5 lakhs per month salary.
see what we are bondage of is that exploring.
Hmm.
We are not allowed to explore. We are not allowed to take our own decision. Our parents, our relatives, our education has already designed our career. They had already framed what I will do in future. You have to take science means you have to take science.
Hmm.
Whether your interest is in drawing, in dance, in singing, nobody cares because parents think there is no future in that. Only one in thousand become successful, but they never think that maybe your child can become one of them
Yes,
because they are
that
in
is the main
fear.
problem. Trust. Parents don't trust their child.
Why? Parents are also in fear that if my child fail, his
Ah,
reputation will be gone.
hmm.
Their family's reputation will be gone. These are the fears. These are
and this
the
and this
education mafias.
reputation thing is basically a main problem of India. You don't find this
Yes.
reputation thing in some foreign countries, you know.
In abroad.
the
No, no.
the best education system, the best country with education, the country with the best education system is Finland. And you know what happens in Finland, what is there in Finland, that from class 1 to class 10 there are no tests. Students are not given any homeworks, or even if they are given very less homework, 5 to 6 hours of maximum class hours for senior students. For juniors it's much more less. So we in India, 8 hours, 10 hours of school, then again 4 hours of coaching classes, then again 2 hours of extra tuitions, and then drawing class, arts class. Where will a child some time to spend with himself or herself? No one is getting the
Exactly.
self time. Nobody is getting the time to reflect on what that person is doing. We think that they are children, they don't know anything. They do not know the difference between right and wrong. So we as parents, we should do everything with them. We should control their life. But when we do that, we forget that they are also human beings. And as human beings, we tend to reflect. We reflect on our bad things, good things. But as students, they don't get time.
This is the problem because in school there are, I'm taking 8 subjects are there.
Yes.
8 subject, 8 homeworks. Huh. And the next day you have to show me all these 10 assignments I have given to you. Each 8 uh, teacher has given 10 assignments, 80 assignments. Now if one or two student is unable to show one subject, maybe physics, is unable to complete the physics because there were many other assignments of school as well as tuition. Now what the teacher will say, I don't care about other subject, why haven't you done my homework?
Ah.
Why? This pressurizing the students. They are not getting time for their self study, which is most important. Most self study is most important for a student for his career to select what he should do in future. Here the interest is creative. They are not allowed to explore. They are not allowed to take their own decision. I like literature, but I'm not allowed to take literature. I'm not allowed to study literature. No, focus on the science part. Focus on chemistry. Focus on physics. Keep English, Bengali, and other subject aside. Our parents are telling this, our friends are telling there is nothing in English, there is nothing in Bengali. Try physics, try chemistry, you will have a future. I have interest, but I am unable to go on with my interest because others are stopping. These are creating the barriers. Our parents, our education system, all those myth, this comparison. I'm
Hmm.
saying this comparison is creating a big barrier, a big barricade, and stopping our interest. And once interest is stopped, the focus automatically gets down.
And
Now
Parthib,
I'm not getting interest in any
Parthib,
subject.
Parthib.
I don't like science. Why will I go on with science? I don't like this second law of motion, first law of motion. I like
Yes,
literature. I like J.K. Rowling. I like William Shakespeare. But I'm not allowed.
yes,
Here everything is getting messed up. And a student career is getting demolished.
yes. And
Every time, every
Parthib,
single
Parthib,
time, every individual.
Parthib. So, as a tuition teacher or as a teacher of this coaching institute, ROCFT Institute, so when I used to teach students, you know, the biggest problem, what was the main problem I used to face with the problems, that every every parent, you don't know, every parent used to tell me, every single parent, Gulfam, you have to give students homework, give them so much homework that they don't get time to do anything else. You see the exact line, these are the exact lines. Gulfam, give the students so much homework that they don't get any extra time to play, to do this or that, anything like that. They don't get any extra time. Give so much homework. You know what my reply was? My reply was, sir, ma'am, if you want me to make your children a robot, I cannot do that. But if you want me to make your children a good, successful human being, I can do that. I can try to make them do that. This is what I say. But yes, if you go and talk to my students, they will say that sir give a lot of homework, a lots and lots of homework. But if you pay attention, my homeworks are basically practical based homeworks. I don't give theory homeworks a lot. I give practical based homework. I don't give very long lectures and no explanation of those lectures. Rather, I try to give students particular topics, I explain those topics, and then I take a test. Because according to a survey, tests are a whole lot better for studies. If you continuously take your own test, self test, while studying chemistry or physics, you will find that you are much better at the subject or any topic. So I'd rather take continuous tests, and I try to give as less homework as possible. Sometimes I don't give homework. I tell students to explore the topic, find the topic in internet, and I emphasize the parents also to allow them to use mobile phones, but in a kind of restricted manner. But the students might should not feel that he or she is restricted. The student might should feel that he or she is obliged to follow their parents, not restricted, follow their parents in a well proper manner, that he or she should not go and watch something that is not allowed to watch for them. But at the same time, they should explore the world of net, because we are living in an era of internet. And if we do not know the things of internet going on, a student who doesn't know anything about internet and getting 97 98% marks in the college will not be able to do anything later on in his life, isn't it?
One thing I will add here, in schools, the project system, the project assignment system,
Yes.
I hate this a lot. I hate it because there are 60 students in one class.
Hmm.
60 students are giving the same project. Now 60 students are putting their effort, keeping their self-study aside, their school studies aside, they're working on a project. 30 page, 40 page, based upon their topics, they're writing. But when we submit it, I don't think any teacher, hardly any teacher reads any single line of their projects. They give the marks based on the number of pages. I'm again saying quantity.
Yes.
Number of pages he has written, pictures he had pasted, the decoration. They are judged again by all those things, not by the quantity, not by the knowledge provided by the students. What they see, the decorations, the pages he has used, the number of pages he has written, this, the time he has wasted. Through this, the marks are given.
Yes. So
This
basically,
is what I hate.
the marks that you are getting is the marks that you actually get when you waste time. So a
Waste
student,
time. Yes,
yes,
this
a
is what I'm
student.
saying.
So this is hilarious. This is hilarious. A student is doing wasting his time, and that wasting of time is graded in the question in the report card. So you are getting totally totally wastage of time, and that is represented in the report card. And you take that report card, go to a government office, and you say that government officer to give you a job or hire you for a job. Isn't it a is
Now, I'm saying that he wants to say interesting. How you can put interest on this project work when the teacher will ask you to read out your project in front of the class. Show us your project. What have you done? Show us. Present us.
yes,
Then our interest will arise. That no, I have to present it in front of all of the class. Now the pressure is also coming.
yes,
See,
huh,
the student is now pressurized. Now they have to put focus. No, I have to speak in front of all 60 other students. So I must read what I have written. Maybe by copying through his own knowledge, but now I have to read, I have to memorize, now I have to express myself. I have to express what I have learned, what I have written. Now the focus is on, the interest is also arise.
yes,
But nobody cares if we just easily submit it and they'll just give marks. Everybody will copy it, blind copying and submitting.
And
There is
you
no
you
interest,
must you
no
might
focus,
you might
no acquiring of knowledge.
yes, you might also remember the fact about a class 10 computer, I guess. You know what happened in the class 10 computer last project? I am 101% sure this has happened to you also. In when I was in class 10, this happened to me and the same thing happened to you all. Every batch does that same thing. You were given a CD of computer and you were told to
Yes,
copy
yes,
and
yes.
paste. You were told to copy and paste.
Copy and paste.
Literally copy and paste, and you got, I guess, how much marks? 50 or 100 marks?
50-50, I think.
50 marks.
50 on Viva, 50 on the project work,
Huh.
which hardly any teacher sees.
So 50 marks based on a CD which you just copied and pasted. So what is the value of that copy paste?
This is simple wastage of time, nothing else. Until you make the project any kind of productive, there is no productive coming out. If you would have said that rather than making the CD, rather than copying the CD, present it on the book, present it in front of all. Here, the knowledge is produced. Now you
Hmm.
have to acquire what you have written, what you have done, and you have to express.
Yes.
Here the production comes. Here is the productive thing. But here we lack. Here the education system is lack.
No, even if teachers want, if an individual teacher wants, he or she can do that. Class 9 students reading in my institute, what do I tell them? I tell them that prepare from now, because at the end of the year you will be given Arduino or Raspberry Pi projects, and you will be told to do those projects on your own. And from that itself, firstly the student is a little bit afraid of the thing, that what is this new thing, we are just a student, why we are doing these college projects. But what I believe, that these are not college projects. If you have a proper knowledge, basic knowledge of things, you can do an Arduino project or a Raspberry Pi project. Secondly, an interest is arised. Students who are actually interested in robotics or in artificial intelligence, they are now they now think that there is someone who can understand us, there is someone who can actually believe in us, believe in what we do, no matter what we do, but this teacher can believe, have faith in us. So next time when that student will attend my class, that student will pay much more attention compared to other students in the school, on the same topic. So this is what I do. This is what I do to bring students back into the track and make them feel like that they are not alone in this journey. Nobody is leaving them alone. Nobody is telling them to copy others' work. But we are actually telling them to express their own creativity, what they can do by themselves, based upon their own knowledge. And this should be the case with every school. This is what I believe. For computer, physics, chemistry, biology, every teacher should follow this. Even history and geography. A history teacher can say that, okay, this is your topic, go and do a research on Babur or Akbar, or go and do a research on Turkish invasion or Ottoman Empire. And every student will be given different options. A student who is interested in particular option will choose that option, do a project, bring it in front of the whole class, and then represent it and speak by his own language. And there is this big issue with even the schools. The students who are unable to speak in English, they are actually not told how to speak English. Rather, they are pressurized. You have to speak in English. They're not told, okay, you do not speak in English, you cannot speak in English, so this is how you improve. Take this, do this, do this.
They are demoralized. They are demoralized. You have reached class 10 and you don't know how to speak English
Hmm.
in front of everyone. Here the morale gets down.
Yes.
Interest gets more and more less. Here is the problem. In this small mistakes of teachers, students, and everyone, the student becomes the victim, and the morale gets down, the interest gets down, and we point out at the student that it is his mistake.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong in my English, but it's your duty to correct it, rather than judging it that in which class I am reading and how bad is my English or how good it is.
That is what a
You
school
said
is
na that
supposed to be. you know
express that
correcting.
students are, yes, let me
Parthib.
say,
Okay,
students
okay,
are, yes,
okay, say that.
students should be allowed to express. When I was in my school in class 7 or 8, I had a teacher. Let's not take the name. I
Okay,
know
okay,
you
no, no,
also know
yes,
the
yes,
teacher.
yes, okay.
He used to he used to make us read. Means he was an English teacher. He used to come at our class and he used to say, you read, you read the paragraph, you explain what you have learned, then I will explain. This
Yes.
is where the interest arises.
Yes.
This is how you judge the student. Now here you can see how good he is in reciting, how good he understands the chapter, and from this, through this, you can point out that here is the mistake, you have said wrong here, you have said the wrong grammar over here, here you can correct it, here you can arise the interest on a student.
Hmm.
I liked it very much. I liked that English class. English is still my favorite uh, subject because of that teacher. He aroused my interest in English. This making the student see, making the student express what you have learned creates an interest, because interest without in studying, without interest, studying means filling a bottle which is locked.
Yes.
A closed bottle and you are filling water is like studying without interest.
Yes.
Nothing productive comes out, nothing fills in, no knowledge is acquired.
Yes.
This is the value of interest.
And when you will go to schools in Delhi and metro cities, what you will find is that each and every school, what they do when it comes to English, geography, and history, these kind of subjects, they would rather not explain what is happening in that topic. They will give the students notes, lots of notes, like 4 5 pages notes for one single paragraph, and they will say memorize these notes and then mug it up and utter it out in the examination hall, and then
This is the
that
main problem.
that student will get 90 95% marks. And you know what happens when a student get 90 95% marks? The rest of the students who got 40% marks, 50% marks, now they are demoralized. They're not motivated because they think that now this student, this boy or this girl in our class who got this much marks, student teachers are going to appreciate him. And it happens, teachers will always go to that topper or that person who got really good marks, the top 5 class students of a class. The teachers will always go to them. Teachers will always offer debate competition or quiz competition to them, not to other students. And you know what happens? The other students who even had 1% interest, that 1% interest is also gone.
It's the co-curricular activities. This is not the fault of our school, because when I reached in class 10,
Hmm.
the maths teacher came and she said that this is our syllabus. Our target is to complete the syllabus within November. Then we will do the revision.
Hmm.
This is the problem. We are not getting the time for other works.
Hmm.
We are not getting time to check all and each and every students. The teacher are not getting time to focus on every single student.
Yes.
That is the main problem. I am weak. I am weak in maths. I am feared. I am afraid to put forward my doubts because others will laugh. This is the problem.
Ego.
My
So
interest is getting
not
less and less.
not ego, but self awareness in front of everyone. You A basic someone who is a normal student who is into this education system, 90 to 95% of students have this kind of problem, that if I say something, the other person will laugh at me, mock at me, or say will say some things that will hurt me. But it actually doesn't happen. Others will say many things, but it should not hurt you. This thing is not taught in school. We lack this thing. you know Teachers will teach, the moral science class. Remember the moral science class when the principal used to enter in our class, teach all those things, and students used to be interested only on these topics like love and all
We
of this.
hardly used to listen. First thing, we hardly used to listen.
Hmm.
Here is our mistake. These are our small mistakes. This is the mistake of the student, because we overthink a lot.
Hmm.
We overthink what my friend will think if I ask the doubt. He is not setting our future. When I'm in the class, there should be me, the teacher, and the blackboard. That's it. This should be the mentality. Here, your interest will arise. You must ask question. You are paying the fees only to ask the question, to clear the doubts, to acquire knowledge. Go and acquire it, snatch it. Don't be afraid.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Once you're afraid, the interest get less. You get afraid, interest goes down. You think yourself less confident.
Yes.
This is the problem of that student itself. Now you cannot blame the teacher or the education system. This problem is of the student.
Yes. See.
Problem of the teacher is if he remarks,
Yeah.
means I have this doubt, ma'am, will you please explain it? Haven't you paid the interest?
Yeah.
What were you doing when I was teaching? Here the problem is again.
Yes.
Step by
Definitely.
step, one problem arises. Maybe you are courageous. You have the potential that no, I will ask. I don't care about the other students what they think of me. When I will ask, if the teacher gives us this kind of reply, what you will think? Here the
Definitely,
confidence is
definitely the student will be demoralized. Definitely. And the student will doubt in himself or herself only that I cannot do this. When this term comes, when this thing comes in the mind of a student, I cannot do this. This will not only affect the present but also the future of the student.
definitely. I think what I've read somewhere that in school, if you are not doing mistake,
Hmm.
if you are not doing any mistake, then you are doing the biggest mistake in life.
Yes, and
You
school
must do
is about
mistake. You
mistakes, na?
must learn from your mistakes.
School is about mistakes, na? A school, you go to school to correct your mistakes. How will you correct your mistake? Until and unless the teacher knows the mistake, the student also knows and acknowledges the mistake. The mistake.
Come back. I will come back. I will never cry for this reason again. I failed in maths. I will never fail in maths again. I will work hard. I will give my 200% now. This
Yes.
should be the attitude. This should be the positiveness. And here, the whole these things depend upon the student. Some get motivated, some get demotivated. Someone cries and say, "No, I can't. Here is the mistake. Here you are doing wrong." You must say, "I have cried. Now I will do it correctly."
And next time I won't
Here is
create a situation where I will
yes,
cry.
yes. This is the main thing. And
Yes.
motivation, let me tell you something. According to me, motivation is not all those big speech, all
Yes,
those
definitely no.
encouragement, all
Definitely
those
no, no. I've
counseling.
even I have tried
I
that.
explain you motivation in one word, that is pain.
Hmm.
PAIN. Until you feel it, you won't understand it. Until you feel the pain of being unsuccessful, until you feel the pain of failure. And you need another thing, that is courage to come.
Hmm.
Be successful, to be winner, to bear that pain, you need courage. Once you have that courage to bear the pain, you are successful, you are motivated.
Yes.
Here your motivation works. You are motivated now. Those speech works only that day you have listened. I have listened to Sandeep Maheshwari, A, B, C, D, and all. I am motivated one day, 2 day, second, third day, it gets over. But once you start feeling the pain of failure, I have failed in maths. My reputation is down. Now people are mocking at me. When you will feel it by heart, this will create a motivation. No, I have to come back. I have to prove other wrong. And for that, you need to build up that courage. Once the courage is built, one you are able to bear that pain. Now you are talking. Now you are going to come back.
The same thing is with
This is the
the same thing is with bodybuilding also. Until and unless you feel the pain by putting up all those extra weights or doing those extra pull-ups, you will feel a lot of pain that you will feel like I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to continue, I should give up. But the moment you stop it, those thoughts will come. I want to give up, I don't want to continue. Those thoughts will keep on coming. But the moment you overcome those thoughts and you do some extra pull ups, do some extra push ups, you give some extra squats, you run some extra kilometers, you know what happens? Your body starts improving, your body starts building muscle. So, until and unless you do this, and now this is about bodybuilding, this applies to your life also. And this is the reason why I say to each and every individual student to be active in their sports. If they are active in sports, they will learn a lot more about life in sports, what they learn compared to what they learn in their school books or in those books. Even you were an active student in sports, I know that. So until and unless you when you playing a game, what do? You learn a lot of things. You learn things that will be with you along with your life. You learn to make friends, you learn a particular skill. Your body is improved now, your body feels much more better. And when your body is much more better, when your body gets a big refresh, your mind is also refreshed because your mind is a part of your body, isn't it? Now, this is what happens when that continuously goes on and on and on for a 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. This physical activity goes on. A mentality is created, a mentality to never give up, a mentality to success, a mentality to focus on a goal. Now, that mentality is very important, isn't it? So even I have experienced that. I know you have experienced that. This is very important. So okay, so
Everyone is experiencing
yes.
according to me. And improvement, I would like to add, in case of improvement, I have given a task of doing 10 homework.
Hmm.
I have done all those 10 homeworks. Have I improved? No.
No.
I have done 10 homeworks and 5 of my own. Here I
Hmm.
have improved.
Hmm.
Pushing my limits means improving.
Yes.
Not that I am reaching to my goal. Means that particular task, completing the task is not my improvement. My improvement is when I can go beyond my task. We can where I can push my limits. Once I start pushing my limits, I'm improving. Like
Oh,
you said, 10 extra push up, 10 extra squat, 10 extra kilometers. Here I'm improving.
yes.
But those regular 1 kilometer run is not improvement. That is practice.
Yes.
Those 100 attempts daily is not improvement. When you are giving more than those particular efforts that you are putting up daily, that is uh, mm, improvement. Those
Yes.
extra things that we are putting forward, those extra efforts are improving us.
Yes. So we discussed,
This is
Parthib,
in
Parthib. So we discussed about this focus, about interest of students, and about this education system. If teachers are like this, what to do? So for focus, it's very simple. And one more thing is there with students about focus, and that is this, this miniature relationship kind of a thing that goes on with students. Our topic is not about that. We know that our topics today is not about that, but this miniature relationship, that's a big problem. Someday later on we will discuss about this topic because already we have crossed the 1 hour limit. But still, uh, okay. So
so here we are improving. We
yes,
have
yes,
crossed our target was 1 hours of discussion. Now we are discussing. We are improving our skills. We are improving. We are sharing our knowledge. Here the improvement is working. See,
yes.
these are the practical things we are experiencing.
Okay, yes,
Here
yes,
is the difference we are making. Here we are coming to know. See, our target was 1 hour. 1 hour we will talk and we will finish it up. No,
hmm,
see, now the communication is on. Now
yes,
we are sharing our knowledge.
yes.
Here you
So
are learning something, I am learning something. Here should be the interest. Now the interest is growing. Now
yes,
you can talk to me like now what's 2 o'clock. We can now talk till 4 o'clock
definitely we can
because now the
continue.
interest has already created.
Yes. Now, because see, the first hour of this whole thing was actually to bring out the main problem. Now, the problem came out. Now, the discussion will start. So, the thing was focus. It was very simple. For focus, after the whole of the discussion, what I can conclude is if you want focus, you need to have interest and a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure, that pressure should not be from outside, that pressure should be inside of yours. A little bit of inside pressure, a little bit of interest. That interest will come only when you find your curiosity, where you are curious. You need to find it. Nobody is going to find it for you because India is not like that. You have to find your curiosity by your own. So this is a task for everyone. So the audience who are listening to this is a task for you all. You need to find your own curiosity. You need to find out where you can do something. Okay, the first attempt may not be successful, second may not be, third may not be, but until and unless you find it, keep going. Okay, so this should be the one. So after finding the curiosity, definitely interest is going to come, and when the interest comes, definitely focus is going to be there, isn't it? Now, how to bring that interest, this was our second thing. So I guess what I believe in how to bring that interest is very simple. That if you want, what I used to do, I'm giving you once one of my memories. I'm sharing one of those. So Sudeep sir, physics, our physics teacher, class 10 Sudeep sir class is known for favorite. Sudeep sir class is very well known for sleeping and time pass. Everyone has faced that, even I have faced that. So I was a student in his class who never used to sleep in his class. And what I used to do was, the class was boring. I agree to that. Sudeep sir might be listening to this. This Sudeep sir might be listening to this video, but that won't affect our topic. Okay, so um, what I used to do was basically this simple thing that I used to tell to myself that okay, I know the class is boring, I know the class is not going good. What I used to do was I used to ask as many questions. The questions might not be respected to the topic. I used to ask many questions and try to bring my interest in it because I knew one thing: until and unless I bring interest to physics won't be allowing me to bring marks in the exams. I was very weak in physics by class 9, so I had to do something. In class 9, I did pay a lot of interest by simply asking a lot of questions. And when I did that, a huge amount of curiosity arose inside of my mind. You know, a huge amount of curiosity. What is black hole? What is white hole? How space works? What is Newton's laws and how these things works? What is quantum mechanics? In class 9, I was discussing about quantum mechanics with Sudip sir. And many students will say that Sudeep sir is boring, but what I say that he lacks that kind of thing that will bring interest in students, but he has knowledge, he has great amounts of knowledge. And what I have seen through my experience that it doesn't matter what teacher you are with, you can make any class interesting as far as it concerns with you. You can make any class interesting. Okay, so it
I
depends
think
all about
Sudeep
you.
sir is interesting. I think Sudeep sir is was interesting and now and will be.
Yes.
But the problem was, as told you, the pressure thing. Told you na
Yes.
that if you don't pressurize the student, he will not pay attention. He will not pay focus. Here, Sudhir sir lacked that thing. He was not strict. He
you know
was very friendly.
this is the kind of teachers you will find in foreign universities. This is the kind of teachers, they do not pressurize students at all. They do not say anything to
And
students.
but the students also do the same. They are not paying attention.
Yes.
They are taking advantage of his friendliness.
Yes.
Hence, the class is being boring. They are not listening to him. Why? Because we know whatever I do, the teacher will not say anything, the teacher will not scold anything. So I am free. Here the problem is of the students. Whereas in case of Utpal sir, you must remember he's still the most strict teacher of the school.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone pays attention. Maybe the subject is boring, maybe the chapter is boring, yet each and every student pays attention because he's strict. He's putting the pressure on each and every student. This should this is making the difference.
now
Being
now
friendly and being
what we need to do is we need to find a middle ground, not being too friendly, not being too strict. We need to find a middle ground where
no
students
question
can,
of that.
yes, a student can pay attention. So this is the solution. See, here we are getting, now after 1 hour of discussion, we are getting to the solution. So we need to find a middle ground of being very friendly and very strict. When you get the middle ground, you will see that students will slowly, it will take time because the whole Indian education system, it's not easy to change. So it will take time. So slowly students will try to understand, try to focus, try to ask questions. The basic skill a student lacks in India is they do not ask question. They are like a parrot. You teach them something, they repeat the same thing. They do not ask questions. And you know why this has happened? This has happened because of the British. They came to India and all they wanted was that the Britishers, when they came to India and when they ruled over India for 200 years, when they introduced the education system in India, the English education system in India, what they basically wanted was they wanted people who would serve them, who would do their work without asking a question. So they introduced this education system of rote reading, bringing marks, getting a degree, and then doing all of these things. All of those who are successful in life today or were successful, Rabindranath Tagore and all other those successful people, they acquired their knowledge out of the education system, not in the education system. So if anyone is successful, like we say na, Sundar Pichai, He got this much marks in board exam, so we should also get. Later on, Sundar Pichai also did his education outside of India in foreign universities. Okay, so all of these successful people, whatever the reason that is why they are successful, definitely the reason is not India. Indian education system is not the reason. I'm not saying that India is bad in terms of education system. It is not bad, but the system itself is corrupted. The society and the system is, in a circle which is totally messed up. This is the big problem going on. What
Yes,
would
this education system lacks solutions. They put up the questions, they put up the problems, but they themselves don't know the solutions. I think the perfect solution is freedom for
hmm
each and every student. Freedom of taking their own decision,
huh
freedom to choose what they feel interesting. I feel interest in English, I should go on. And freedom from comparison.
hmm
And this mark system, judgment of a student through this marks. If we give our students, all those students, me, you, everyone, these four freedoms, then I'm saying our education system will enhance one day. Not only the education system, but our country's youth will progress. Our India will progress.
and also,
Because
and
now
Parthib,
we are not free.
Parthiv, also when this freedom is given to a student, the student will definitely do some mistakes. And that is the time when a teacher should come and say that this is a mistake and you should correct it. That is the time when that mistake should be corrected. So when a student does a mistake, let him do that mistake and let him learn. But if he fails to learn, at that moment a teacher should enter and actually tell him this is your mistake, this is the thing, this is the problem, and here is the solution. This is the work of a teacher. A teacher should provide proper solution, not just solution, but a proper solution to a student.
The guiding part is most important. We will do mistakes because our age is very tender.
Yes.
We don't know what we are doing. We are giving blind attempts. Our parents and teachers are there only to guide us. Just guide us, and I'm sure each and every student will take the path of success, will go through the path of success, and will definitely succeed one day. But
Yes.
if we put pressure, so much of pressure, so much of comparison, if we don't allow them to take decision, then I'm sorry, we are creating a bad future here. We are stopping the future. This is only the main problem. This is only the main solution.
Yes, and Parthib, that the problem with the teachers in India, the big problem that we were discussing right now, we were telling about it. So the problem with the teachers, that a teacher, uh, in some schools, a teacher of 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, the teacher themselves, they do not know what to do with the problem, how to explain the student. Or suppose if a teacher is teaching in class, a plus b whole square equals to a square plus b square plus 2ab, this is the formula. None of the teacher will explain how to apply this formula in real life, what is the use of this formula, how to understand this formula, from where we got this formula. No one says that. Everyone says, remember.
Because this is because they are hired on the basis of their marks, not of their knowledge. This man has got 98 in maths. Let's hire him for
Hmm.
our school. This is the mistake. This is the mistake. We are not judging him by his knowledge. We are seeing his marks. Oh, you have got 98. You are welcome to our school.
Yes.
What do you expect the teacher in class?
So what I think,
Marks,
Parthiv.
marks 100%. Maybe he had worked hard.
Hmm.
Marks 100%, but knowledge is zero.
Yes. And what I think,
We go to school
Parthiv.
to acquire knowledge.
Yes, that
And
is the main thing. That is the main thing. We go to school for acquiring knowledge. And Parthib, what I so what is the solution? Is that the solution of this whole problem? What I basically think is that right now we cannot be the government, we cannot be the ministers, and we can change everything in one night. So what we can do is, right now we can tell the students, and the parents also should do this, and the teachers also should do this. They should, everyone, the whole society, we as teachers and the students themselves, they should pay attention to acquiring more knowledge and understanding the topic deeper with the help of internet. Internet is the biggest weapon someone has got in today's era. Anyone can do anything. There is no limitation. There is no limitation of what you can do with this internet. Suppose you want to know who was the one who invented algebra. Why we read algebra? Algebra is the biggest enemy of a mathematician. Not a mathematician, but a student who is reading in class 9 and 10 who doesn't know what is algebra. The one who invented algebra was Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. And this algebra, this came from the word al-jabr, which is an Arabic word. So, a student who doesn't know about the history behind why they are reading algebra, what is algebra, why they are finding this value of x and y, until and unless a student knows, the student will not pay interest. And how to know that? Each and everyone, every individual, the parents, the teachers, everyone should pay emphasis on a student and tell him to acquire that knowledge from internet. And how will they do that? Give them projects, give them daily assignments. Okay, do not give them those boring homeworks of doing exercise 9.1, 2.1 whole
Copying
exercise.
and pasting.
Ha.
Copying and pasting the same thing written in the book.
Rather than doing that, let them give some assignments. Give them some assignments, and tell them that next day when they come to school, they will be the one who will be explaining in front of the whole class, or much better, in front of the whole school in the stage. Now this way, we will also eradicate the stage fear of students, and every student will get equal chances. So they will be given assignments based upon these topics, and they will be told go and find in the internet whatever you can find, whatever you can understand. Go find, make a project or do this assignment. Next day you come to school, take just utter it out. Just bring out all of the things that you have learned the next day and explain to it everyone. Just for a day, for a minute, for an hour, think yourself as a teacher and explain to everyone else. This is the best thing we can do right now, as the society can do right now. Because right now we have a weapon, we have the biggest knowledge tree in front of us, which is internet. And students, 98 to 96% students, 96 to 98% students, they are not using this internet properly. We all know the problems of this internet, what these all do with students and with the mentality of students. We know the problems, but until and unless the teachers and parents, they guide us and tell us what we should do, how we should use this internet, a student will never know how to use the internet. This is the biggest weapon. And when a student actually knows how to use the internet, because the rest of 1% 2% students, they actually know how to use this internet. When a student knows and when a student uses it the way it should be used, that student will actually do something in life, will be prosperous, will be something really great, and 101% sure will be successful, because now that student has got out of the fear of other people, what they will say, got out of the fear of parent pressure, peer pressure of the society, got out of the fear of the teacher will say something to me, because now that student is confident, the confident of himself, that he can do something great, he can prepare an assignment and bring it in front of everyone. And this skill will help that student in the future also. What do you think?
Completely agree. Completely agree. I have nothing extra to add because you have given the ultimate solution.
Yes.
This is the ultimate solution. Let, let us explore. Let us explore. Let us decide. Let us take our own decision. Your work is to guide us. This is the complete solution. I have nothing more to add.
Yes, yes. Okay then. So Parthib, I guess. Hello, Parthib. You can listen to me.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So Parthib, I guess. So how was this all of discussion? We got to the end. There will be many more discussion in the future also. Definitely, we will do many more discussion like this, inshallah. And what do you think about it? What kind of experience you had with this debate, or not a debate, but a casual discussion?
I think it was great and it was quite productive. Because I came to know a lot of things through this podcast, through this podcast and all. You might have learned something.
Yes,
This is,
definitely.
I
I
think
learned
it's
a
a
lot of
great
things.
idea. We all must, if this shares a lot, many people will come to know about that algebra one, which probably nobody knows. Maybe the teacher knows who hasn't. this was quite productive. We should talk. We should explore.
Yes.
For me, it was a great experience. I would like to thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Yes,
Thanks
yes.
a lot for picking me up for your
Thank
podcast.
you. Thank you,
I've learned
Parthib.
a lot from you.
I
You
will
have
say,
been an inspiration for me. You will
okay, I will say thank you, Parthib, for that. Thank you, Parthib, for being here, for being in my podcast. So this video will be put up in the channel on Monday, and we will see what is the response of the audience. Definitely, isn't it? So yes, this has been a great night because throughout the day we didn't get time to speak about this. So we decided to do this podcast after 12. So it's 1:45 and we are still talking about it. So I don't know when I am going to sleep. I don't know when he's going to sleep. But yeah, definitely we did a big thing right now. We did a big discussion that was really necessary, and this kind of discussions will be there, will be coming up every now and then. So this is the whole series going on. I will be bringing many of my friends, many people who are into this topic, who are into this striving hard to improve this education system. I will bring all those people and we will have a really great time and conversation with them. So today's discussion was about how to bring this interest and how to conquer this education system policies, rules, what are the problems, and how to actually defeat those problems. Not just what are the problems, but actually find the solutions. And we did find the solutions somehow. I don't know how the solutions are. We are not experts. We are just casual people discussing on this topic. And we just have a little bit of experience. I have an experience of a teacher. He has an experience of a student. I also have an experience of student, definitely. And he's also experiencing what the problems are going on, especially during COVID-19 as a student. So these are all of the things brought together to all of you in this podcast. So Parthib, I thank you so much for being here on the podcast, and I hope that we will be again in a podcast discussing. Definitely, I want to discuss on this. The topic that I said we are not here to discuss that. That a fair topic, the topic of the problem of having these topics of problem of childhood adolescent period, those relationship kind of topics. I would like to discuss those topics with you also. So see you in the next you know podcast. So thank you so much for Pati for being here.
and before ending, I would like to thank all of your audience as well for giving us this support and watching us. And I would also like to beg pardon if I have said anything wrong,
No, definitely
if I
not,
have said
definitely not.
anything incorrect.
No.
I apologize for that, and thank you so very much for bringing me in. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you Parthi, thank you Parthi, thank you for being here.